The 15-Point Plan is part of the Win, Make, Give podcast network.
Welcome to another episode of the 15-Point Plan podcast. My name is Ryan Park Greigg, and as always, I am here with my amazing co-host, Jacqueline Smith. Over these last couple of weeks, we have been doing our second deep dive into one of our favorite books, James Clear's Atomic Habits. Before that, we did Brendon Burchard's High Performance Habits, and we know that the 15-Point Plan is simply a system. It is a system that will give you more energy and help you reduce your stress, frankly, through your habits and following this system. Right, Jacqueline?
Yeah, it's essentially, for those of you who are new here or need a reminder, the 15-Point Plan is a list of 15 small daily habits that you can do to track how your habits impact your energy and your mood. So it's not about perfection, but it's about being aware of, like I said, how our daily habits are impacting our energy and our mood. And so if you haven't done it before, you can go to winmakegive.com and you can download the tracker and you can read through some of the information online and check out some of our past episodes where we dive into the 15-Point Plan and each of the habits on the 15-Point Plan and just start the journey, right? This is all about simple, starting small and building on it from there. So we're in, I think, the fourth law now, right, of the Atomic Habits book. So this is the final and fourth law, and it's called Make It Simple. So we've done, the first one was make it obvious. The second one was make it attractive. Third one was make it easy. And now the fun part, I think, how do we make it satisfying so that we continue the habit and close the loop, as they say, so that you continue to do it again and again.
Yeah, that's right. Law number 4, making it satisfying. And let's be real. Who doesn't like a good reward for all our hard work? Our brain is built off these dopamine hits. Our brain is so much more likely to do something when we get a little boost of dopamine, when we get a little bit of reward from it. And so when we're building these habits, when we're building these systems, when we're starting anything new, we're a lot more likely to do these things if we can get satisfied from the outcome of it. Now, we've talked about this on the previous episodes. There's a difference of, okay, I'm going to do this because I get a reward versus I'm going to do this because it's hard and I just want to be able to do hard things because, well, Jacqueline, we know life is going to hit us with hard things and we need to be able to deal with them without a reward. But when it comes to starting a new habit, when it comes to starting health habits, when it comes to doing these things like the 15-Point Plan, the more likely that we can make these things satisfying and get that boost for us, the more likely we're going to continue to do it.
Yeah. And you hit the nail on the head. So life is not all about doing whatever feels good all the time. And
Right.
so, yeah, we have a greater opportunity, though, when things are hard, to decide how we're going to respond to it. But today we're not talking about doing things just so that we can attack hard things. We're talking about how and why is satisfaction so important? And I think you touched on it. We are wired for these dopamine hits, but so many habits that we have, they don't really give us the dopamine hit, right? Because they're like long-term. I always joke, like I'd go to the gym for a week and then I'd be like, wait, where's my abs?
That's right. Dang it.
Yeah. So it's like, we're so wired for wanting like short-term results, immediate gratification. And that's just not like most of the good things in life, the deep, meaningful, impactful things in life. It's not fair because like, if they were immediate, like
That's right.
we'd be superheroes. But a lot of the things that are really good for us, we actually don't see necessarily immediate results from them.
Yeah, we don't. And one of the things that you can do that's just a good immediate result is simply printing up that tracker and knowing that when you do one of these things, whether it's your mindfulness practice or your journaling or your nutrition or drinking some water, hydration, you can check that off. And that's a reward right there. And then what happens is you get 1, you get 2, you get 5. And now you've started to track these things. And what they talk about by making it satisfying is you're going to really, and if you can see that and you get that visualization of seeing your progress and your wins, they say you don't want to break the chain. And that's something rewarding right there, is just knowing, hey, I got day 30, now I can get day 31. And it's going to prevent you from wanting to not, to lose that, not like Duolingo, right? Like when you're on Duolingo, which if you're not familiar with that, it's how you learn a language. And my son is over 500 days on Duolingo. That drives him to keep doing that habit. That drives him to reward himself, because he knows if he misses one day, he just lost 500 days of that streak. Like Jerry Seinfeld talked about that. He said, I would write every single day. If you're not doing a full comedy skit, you're writing at least one joke. You're doing a little bit every single day. We talked about Sahil Bloom's ABC goals in the past. If you go to do your workout and you have all the energy and you do this amazing workout, high five. But some days, let's be real, we wake up and we don't feel all that great. But instead of not doing the workout and breaking the chain, we do our B minus workout, or even our C workout, where, you know what, I still got some steps in, or I still made it to the gym and I still did something so that I didn't break the chain. And that's going to keep us boosted by knowing I did something when it was hard and I get to check one more day off, right?
Yeah, and you can see different companies using this psychological, I don't guess, tool or system or whatever to reinforce behaviors that they want. So, for example, when you were talking, I was thinking about, I have a tonal and I have a Peloton, and I use my Fitness Pal. And all three of them use this concept of building a streak, right? So on Peloton, on Tonal, and then same thing with Fitness Pal, it sends you little messages like, you've entered your, logged your food for this many days. And then, yeah, you don't want to break the streak, so you keep doing it. So that's definitely something that you can use to your advantage is streaks. And so if you're trying to do the 15-point plan, I wish we had an app, Ryan, and maybe we need to go to Ben and say, we need a 15-point plan app. I know there's a lot of habit tracking apps out there.
Right.
You could enter all 15 points in there, because then you build that streak up, right? And you don't want to go, even if you're logging that you only got 5 out of 15 points that day, the streak is that you logged the points,
Right.
I think that's been our message about the 15-point plan, is this is not about perfection. It's about building the habit of staying aware of how your habits are impacting your mood. So for example, you might not always get your hobby point, but if you've gone 2 weeks without getting your hobby point and you've noticed that your happiness score at the end of every day is a little on the low side, well, gosh, maybe it's time to go do a hobby that makes you happy and gives you joy. Even though, you didn't get it this whole time. Well, maybe it's time. It's that awareness that helps you,
That's right. They say missing once is okay, but missing twice can kill momentum. And that's the start of a habit, good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's interesting to me, because you think, okay, well, I'm on this good streak and I missed one day. Okay, no problem. I'll get right back to it. And you're going to keep on that streak of good habits. But you miss, like you said, your hobby, and you don't do that for a day, and then you don't do it for a couple days, and then you don't do it for a couple of weeks. Now you have a new habit, which is not a good habit.
Right. It's a bad habit.
It's a bad habit of not doing those things. And imagine how that can be impacted with all those 15 points. Okay, no sweat. I had my one day where my nutrition wasn't on, but that's okay. I'll get right back on that tomorrow. But if I have one day and then 2 days and then 5 days and then 2 weeks and then a month of that, I will absolutely notice what that difference is. And now I'm actually forming a habit in the wrong direction.
Yeah. Yeah. They say that bad habits are often immediately satisfying and long-term destructive, and good habits are often immediately unsatisfying and long-term rewarding. And so that's a great example, like nutrition. So yesterday, I broke my streak on my amazing eating this week. I do all my meal prepping on Sundays, and I put all my food for the week into MyFitnessPal. And it's not that I don't adjust it. Like I might, things get changed or whatever, kind of like our calendars, like we put things in our calendar, we review our calendar at night and in the morning, and then things get adjusted, right? Because of life. But at least I have a plan. And yesterday I did not follow my plan, Ryan.
Wait, I'm curious, Jacqueline, hold on.
Yeah.
When you said you put it all into MyFitnessPal, like you do that in advance?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's smart.
Well, because I need to make sure that what I'm going to eat is like fitting the macros that I want.
How many days in advance do you do it?
I do it on Sundays, like for that whole week.
So you go in on Sunday and you pre-log all your meals for the whole week.
Yep. A lot of my meals, like I do eat the same things, like a lot of the same things. So I have like meals saved in there. And then they do make it easy. Like you can copy days.
Right.
So
right.
like, I don't need like a ton of variety. I find things that I really, really like.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of eat the same thing every day.
Okay. I learned something new. I didn't know that you did that. I never really even thought about that. What I knew is that when you missed a day on MyFitnessPal, if you miss a day or miss a couple of days, you can go back to those days and log them and get your streak back. I didn't know that. So I learned. Good. Okay. Sorry. Carry on. I just want to clarify that.
Well, I didn't always do that, but one of the trainers that I worked with a few years ago taught me that.
Yeah, that's smart.
Because like what happened was like if I entered at the end of the day, I know we're kind of going on a tangent, but what if I thought I was eating great all day, but then I enter everything at the end of the day and I actually like went way over on my carbs or fat or whatever and way under on my protein. Well, what am I going to do about it at 8:00 at night? I can't.
No, true. But I would do it. I would do it like each meal.
Oh.
But what you're doing is just you're saving yourself time and then you're just doing one step more on the planning. Like I would do it each meal and then, I might have to adjust lunch or dinner based off how much I ate for breakfast. But if you just do it all in advance, that's really smart and of course, like you said, you have to eliminate some variety on things, but that's okay. You've planned everything and you plan out those meals and then it's loaded in there. And then what I'm taking away from that is I would be less likely to go eat something different because I'm like, well, I don't want to cheat what I've already put in there or have to change what I already put in there.
I don't have to change it. Yeah.
Smart.
Or like it happened to me a few times where like I would end up at dinner and I had to eat just like egg whites. I already used up like all of my other things and I only had protein left. So like that sucked. And so I kind of learned, they taught me that when that happened to me a few times. So like, you could apply this to your 15-point plan. So like, instead of waiting till the end of the day, why not take a look at your week ahead and calendar in, like, when are you going to do your hobby? And what are you going to do? When are you going to do your workouts? When are you going to learn? When are you going to journal? When are you going to, laugh?
Yeah.
I have lots of fun people I work with, so I don't really have to calendar my laughing. But, hobbies I do, and workouts I do, and my nutrition I definitely do. Like I have to figure out, okay, when am I going to plan my meals and when am I going to make them all and all that. So, instead of going at the end of each day and saying like, what did I get today? What if we approach the 15-point plan from, I'm going to plan out I'm going to get 12 points today.
Right.
I'm going to get 15 points today, and we actually make a plan for it. I mean, that's next level.
It really is. I mean, but you're planning in advance and it's setting yourself up, I think, already to just think that stuff out and then you've got a plan. And if you don't want to have to change that, it's like, I already signed up. I've already done this. I've already committed to this. Now I just got to fill in the boxes and I guess go do it.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the whole idea is like what gets measured gets improved. And when you plan and have clarity around what you're doing, you're more likely to do it. Like that's true in a lot of things. Like it's true in your nutrition and your exercise and movement, but it's also true like why we do it in business. We do business planning. We plan out our weeks, like we plan out our days. So why not plan out our habits that are, crucial and foundational to us having energy to do our plans in other areas, like why not plan those out and have
Yeah.
more intentionality around it?
Yeah. Yeah. And then the last thing they talk about is having that accountability partner,
Yes.
right? The last thing they talk about is having an accountability
The A
partner.
word.
So yeah, which we know in our world, like in our business world, accountability partners or texting to somebody or making sure that we've got a group, you're going to go so much farther, faster, because it's easy for us to give up on ourselves, but it's a whole lot more. Take the working out movement box, right? Like if you have an accountability partner that's going to meet you at the gym, whether it's at 6 a.m. or 6 p.m., and you don't want to go to the gym at 5 p.m., well, you got to text your friend now, like, hey, I don't feel like going. And they're going to be like, dude, come on. Like, I'm going, like, we're going. And if you got a good accountability partner, then they're probably going to get you to go, or you're just not even going to text them because you think, I don't want to go, but I don't want to bag out. I told them I'm going to show up. So the last section of that fourth law is having an accountability partner and keeping them on board so that you don't just give up on yourself when you want to.
Yeah, I have someone on our team right now who every night is texting me their 15-point plan score, their score out of the 15, and then their happiness score out of 10. And they're texting me those two numbers every single night.
Smart.
And, I think when you were talking, it reminded me of 75 Hard. When I do 75 Hard, there's an app and you get to check off each thing that you do.
Mm-hmm.
And then it has this little feature where you can share to social media. And I always tell people, like, I am not sharing to social media when I'm doing 75 Hard every day because I'm saying, like, look at how awesome I am. I'm doing it because now that I've shared that I'm doing 75 Hard and you guys see in my stories every single night, my thing that I completed the day, like, I don't want to have to be like, yeah, I actually ended up quitting,
Didn't do it. I didn't do it. I'm a quitter.
Have to be one person. It can be, sharing with a group of people, sharing on your social media.
Yeah.
So.
And, this is interesting. I've been using the Whoop strap, Jacqueline. Are you familiar with those, right?
You mentioned that.
Tracking. And so you can have an accountability partner that's a person, but this is kind of a unique take on this. Like, this is an accountability partner that's just my digital app. And so it's just one more tracker. But look at all these questions that I can choose to answer at the end of the day. And this then goes into AI and it impacts everything on my recovery and it impacts everything on my heart rate. And it gives me these readouts. But this is the journal that I can follow at the end of the day. And it gets me that checking things off. It gets me not wanting to break the chain. So here's the questions. Ate all your meals during daylight hours, ate an evening snack, ate breakfast, ate lunch, connected with friends or family, consumed caffeine, consumed carbohydrates, consumed dairy, consumed fruits and vegetables, consumed meat, consumed protein. Did you drink athletic greens? Did you dim your lights after sunset? Drink tart cherry juice, which, by the way, I've started drinking and I love it and it's super helpful. Engaged in a spiritual practice, experienced back pain, expressed gratitude, had some solo time, hydrated sufficiently, red light therapy, spent some time on work video calls, spent time stretching, take a cold shower, took a magnesium supplement, took a multivitamin, took adaptogen mushrooms, took an ice bath, took creatine, took electrolytes, took fish oil. I'll stop there.
Did you make this list or this is the list it came up with?
The list is actually 3 times that long, and these are all things that I do. Okay. And so I took the list that's much longer than that, and I've carried it to all the things that I do. And this is my digital accountability partner because I go on there at the end of every day, and I check either yes or no. And like half those questions, when you check yes, and this is kind of annoying, you check yes, and it says, well, how many milligrams or for how long? So it takes a few minutes to complete that, but it's digital accountability. So an accountability partner can be a person, but also this has been really helpful for me. And I get that boost of like, your
Whoop accountability. Okay. So really quick, because I know we got to wrap this up, but did you do research on Whoop versus what's that ring everyone has? Oura.
Oura ring.
Is Oura?
The Oura ring is more specifically geared towards sleep.
I want to do a Whoop versus Oura episode. So
I think we should.
Have you done enough research or do we need to put like a call out to our listeners? Like if you we're someone that really highly researched Whoop versus Oura. Like, we want to hear from you and have you as a guest so we can have, because like I want to pick one. And so this is kind of selfish for me, but let's do like a Whoop versus Oura episode coming up.
I think we totally should. And I'll leave a cliffhanger for you and our audience, Jacqueline. I had one of the biggest takeaways of my life by using this thing in regards to a bad habit.
Okay. I want to know what the habit was. So you'll have to tune into one of our upcoming episodes where we tackle this. I'm super excited because I've been wanting to get one of those, and I hear kind of different things from different people. So awesome. We hope this was helpful for you. And we're so thankful for all of our listeners and all of the engagement that we get, the messages. Please share this episode with someone. And share the 15-point plan with someone that you love, because it's been the number one thing that I've noticed that has helped people get consistent with daily habits. And I love the program and I love the system. It's my system for self-care. So find us on social media, Ryan Park Greigg, Jacqueline Ray Smith on Instagram, and check out all of our WinMate Give podcast episodes at winmategive.com or on your favorite podcast listening, whatever you call those devices. Thanks,
right. Thanks, everybody. Till next time. Goodbye.
Bye.